Orren SomberDeep was not born. His name is whispered beneath the floorboards of houses long since abandoned, murmured in mildew and forgotten lullabies. He did not arrive, he seeped in through the cracks, between walls, between dreams, between what was and what should never have been. He is not someone you meet. He is someone you remember incorrectly, as though waking from a dream with someone else's shadow still stitched to your heels. The stories he writes are not stories. They are not made, they are found. Dug up from beneath his fingernails, soaked in dreamwater and the static hum of distant rain. He does not invent, but recovers, loose, flickering fragments dredged from the silt of sleep. He is an archivist of memory that wasn't, cataloging every ache and echo with the patience of someone who knows time is a myth and forgetting is a form of survival. He dwells, if the word can even apply, in the city of nowhere, a place stitched together from half-burned maps and fog-choked intersections. The clocks there don't tick, not because they're broken, but because time has grown weary of being counted. The mirrors don't reflect, because nothing behind the glass wants to be seen anymore. The buildings lean inward, like gossiping old men, and the street lamps hum lullabies to no one. The air tastes of old rain and paper ash, and sometimes, if you breathe too deeply, you might hear a name you've forgotten how to miss. In this city, Orren walks slowly, as though afraid the ground beneath him might remember he doesn't belong. He drifts down corridors that weren't there yesterday. He speaks to cats that do not blink and people who have learned to live without faces. He rummages through attics that should not exist, rifling through boxes filled with teeth, postcards from unnamed oceans, photographs with no subjects. He writes not to remember, but to forget. He writes because the alternative is disappearing entirely, unraveling back into the silence from which he emerged. Each sentence is a tether, thread spun from dream stuff and panic, from longing and rot. Each paragraph is a window scraped clean with a fingernail, an attempt to see through the haze of everything he cannot bear to hold. But the more he writes, the more porous he becomes. Details slip. Time skips. He wakes in rooms he does not recognize, wearing coats that smell like other people's memories. And always, there is a door. A door at the end of a hallway that lengthens with every step. A door he has dreamed of, and fled from, and knocked upon in sleep. A door he cannot recall ever opening, though the key is always warm in his pocket. Some say Orren SomberDeep is a fiction wearing a man's skin. Others believe he is the after-image of a real person whose story refused to die quietly. He has been called a narrator, a parasite, a poem scrawled in grief. There are notebooks in certain libraries, usually shelved incorrectly, that contain passages in his voice, entries written in a script that flickers when read. Scholars dismiss them as apocryphal. But late at night, when the archive is still and the air presses close, the pages sometimes rustle on their own. Orren is both narrator and artifact, a ghost of ink drifting between the lines. He lives in margins and footnotes, in dreams you wake from thirsty, in the uneasy pause between knocking and answering. He might be the hum in the wall at 3:17 a.m., or the reason your reflection sometimes seems a beat too slow. When you forget why you walked into a room, or where you left something important, it may be that Orren has borrowed the moment. He does not seek recognition. In fact, the less you know of him, the safer you may be. But if you read his work, truly read it, you may feel him stir. You may hear your name spoken softly in a voice like damp paper tearing. You may find yourself dreaming of hallways that don't exist, of windows that open onto memories that are not your own. If you must read him, read carefully. He may already be reading you back.